Welcome to the No Direction Detailing Podcast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Aaron.
We have a fun podcast for you today, but we need to pay some bills first.
We do need to pay some bills. Oh, let's give a big shout out to Thor Media, the House of Rags. Make sure that you use our promo code in the description below and the link to support the channel. We appreciate you guys. Hopefully, we can continue to bring this great content.
Absolutely. Today, we are going to talk about, well, many things because we go off the rails rather quickly. We're going to start on a detailing, portion of our industry, and it's going to have to do with interiors and odor.
Yeah, I mean, we like to call it Mr. Brian's neighborhood, where we sit at the master's feet and you tell us everything that you know.
Yes, we will get out into the shop and start the podcast shortly. We're also going to be talking about popular R-rated movies in the 80s from 80 to 89.
Yep.
And
I think the idea was basically movies from the 80s that are R-rated that you would watch over and over and over again. If you were scrolling through the channels and it was on, you would camp out and watch.
You put the remote down, kick back, and watch the entire
thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Also, the fun part of this podcast.
Oh, lordy.
These bastards are trying to poison me again with this hot shit.
We've got an entire assortment of the hottest chips that we could find. Not the hot chip challenge, because that's just bananas. But we have an assortment of different chips that we're going to line up that we think is going to be the hottest and probably the mildest. And we're going to work our way up, and we will have a reigning king. And hopefully we'll dethrone as things get hotter. And finally we figure out whether or not you are...
You are not happy until you have a hole burnt in my
These
stomach.
were your ideas.
Oh, yeah,
the hot wings were your ideas. The chips are yours ideas. I think that you really don't have a sense of taste, and he's just trying to trick me. And come like episode 10, he's going to be like, oh, by the way.
No, I will not be going crazy today. I got a lot of work to do this weekend, so I'm going to take it easy.
All right.
Maybe. Let's get started with the...
Let's get over to your neighborhood and find out let's find out about odor remediation.
I look forward to this one. Let's get to it.
Let's go.
All right, guys, we're in front of an auction cart today, and that's for a reason. Today we want to cover the subject of odor removal. A lot of the times in the videos, you're going to see me open up the car door and some of these that have been sitting forever, and it almost knocks me the hell out. Some of these odors I'm talking about, smells like a rubber boot, stuff with hot pepper cabbage.
I can't imagine. And being in an auction car, you have no idea where it came from, who owned it, whatever. It's just there.
A lot of them are impounds, and when banks take their repossessions and their personal stuff, and their last meals are in there. It is so sad to see. Sneakers and socks and clothes and food. It was their last minutes, and it got impounded. So where are they? So that's a different subject for another day. What we want to talk about today is the odor left behind from the unfortunate process.
Right.
This one here has more of an older, musty smell. The seals aren't very good. It has mold, mildew smells, and whatever else crawled up in there and died. So we want to talk about odor remediation and how to remove it.
What do you think is the best way, depending on, let's just say, your average, everyday, soccer mom car? Like the other day, Chelsea just did a video on cigarette smokes that had been in there for forever, and she had to do an extraction and all kinds of craziness to get all that tar and stuff out. What would you do on an average odor remediation? It's just kind of lived in. I think the owner of BioBombs calls it nose blindness or something. How would you go about it?
Well, I know about the nose blindness, but you want to combine mechanical with chemical, a process to get rid of that odor. And, I don't know why we're shooting shit about this one. We have an expert here today, and I'm very pleased.
As a matter of fact, we do. Hey, Christian from BioBombs, what are you doing here, brother? Good to see you.
What's up, Brian? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hello, everybody. So, as the boys were saying, this is an 01 Corvette. Smells a little bit of stale, a little bit of rank in there from kind of past experiences, rodents, whatever it might be that are living inside. So we're going to do today, we're going to do our vehicle deodorization treatment. This is what I would consider to be your general fix for most of your odor issues.
And then a question, would this be your last step, or could this be used instead of like mechanical scrubbing and soaps and detergents? Could you just use this, or would this be the last step in the process?
If it was a bad odor, I would definitely make it the last step in the process. We have something called our minis, which you use to kind of clean surfaces. You can put them inside mechanical devices like you mentioned, steamer, extractor, things like that. For most odor situations, from I'd say like a 7 and below, 10 being the worst, you can put this in the vehicle and it'll do everything you need to get done to remove the odor. If you had something that would be like an 8, 9, or a 10, obviously you always want to make sure you're cleaning all your panels down, you're getting in between the seats, you know, you're cleaning out inside the ventilation system, you're pulling air filters if the car has it. But ultimately, this should do the trick for most of your regular odors that you're going to deal with.
Excellent.
Cigarettes, gasoline, food, urine, feces. Vomit.
I've used it. I came upon it on my channel, probably going on a year or two already, and I used it and I was very impressed. And I did a video on it, and I'm happy to have you here today.
Honored to be here.
So we're going to jump into a car and just give a quick overview of the product, how to use it, how it works.
So like I said, if we had that 10 on an odor scale, you want to do a pre-treatment on the surfaces and subsurfaces with the minis. These are super simple to use. You can use them in a bunch of different ways. You can use them with a bottle of water, 32 ounces, put one of these in. You could also mix it inside your favorite all-purpose. Typhon's a great one that we mix with all the time. It'll boost the cleaning properties and the deodorization properties of the cleaner you're using. After that, you would then go into the vehicle treatments. Now the vehicle treatments are designed really to focus on treating the air. These are designed for surface and subsurface. This is to treat the air. So today what we're gonna do, because this car isn't that bad, it does have an odor, we're just gonna treat the air. Super simple process. We're gonna fill the jar up to the line with water. There's a tablet inside here. All right, we're gonna drop this tablet inside the jar with the water, set that inside the cup holder and let it do its thing. Basically shut the door, give it a couple hours, and typically you're good. Now, in a situation where we're rushed or you have to get a really bad odor out, this is just an aerator pump. This is gonna go clip itself to the top of the jar. This is gonna agitate the surface tension of the water, thus forcing the gas to come out of the jar almost like it's on steroids. So you'll get a reduced treatment time, and in addition to that, you're actually gonna increase the potency of the gas. So for those really difficult odors, the extra gas off that comes from the jar will actually be a big help. All right, cool guys, let's take a peek inside here and see what we're dealing with. All right, so traditional, old school Corvette style. There's not really any way to put the jar in this particular vehicle. We're actually gonna be able to jam it right here and we should be okay. So we're gonna fill this thing up with water. Get this out of here real fast. One, two, high. Give me blood suck. Now we're good. We're good.
You good?
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, guys, we're all filled up right here. Always make sure you read all your safety and precautionary information included here. This is an oxidizer, guys. We don't want to sit inside this vehicle. When you're playing around with any type of product that's strong, you want to make sure you're always wearing the proper PPE. If you do need to re-enter the vehicle, we always recommend not to touch the tablet with your hands as well. There's going to be a little do not enter sign here. When the treatment's getting done, put this outside the vehicle. Make sure you lock the doors and everybody will know not to enter the vehicle. Now, because we're using the aerator today, it's going to be a 1-hour treatment. So we'll do this. We'll come back in an hour, but I'm going to show you guys how the process works. So like I said, there's a tablet inside here. Rip this bad boy open. You guys can see that in there. I'm gonna drop this bad boy in here. Would you mind passing me that aerator, kind sir? All right, guys, we're gonna clip this bad boy on right here. Make sure the tube's inserted into the water. Pop this on here. Turn this on. If you just want to get a shot of that, Brian might be able to see that kind of bubbling in there a little bit. Now guys, what's going to happen is the gas is going to start to release itself inside the vehicle. At this point, we're going to close everything up. The main thing is you want to keep this vehicle closed for the entire treatment time because the concentration of the gas is what's actually going to do the job to get rid of this odor. So a couple other things we'll do real fast. We'll set these down. And typically, we can fasten the seat belts as well. We'll seal this thing up, and we'll be back in an hour. It's already starting to smell a little bit like bleach and chlorine here, so we got to go.
Christian, I got a question for you.
Fire away, sir.
Back in the old school method of doing like the ozone machines and things of that nature, they would always say, turn the car on and use the recycler so that it's going through the vents and the air and all of that stuff.
Sure.
Like, obviously, we're not doing that here. We're in a garage,
Right.
and the car's not running. Is there pros and cons, or just we kind of bypass it because of how good that works?
So you have a couple of different choices. With the pump, if you have to run the vehicle, you can, right? You're gonna run the vehicle for 1 hour. Typically we say put the heat and the air right up the middle. AC on or off depending on what season it is for you, and turn it on. Recirculate has to be on. You want to make sure that air is going back through the ventilation system. It's not necessary, but if you can do it, we advise to do it if you can.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And if there's an air filter, that's the most important part. People don't realize a lot of the times. If you don't remove that dirty air filter, you're kind of wasting that gas because it's going through and it's filtering through the filter. And instead of like trying to get the odors out of the cabin area, it's focusing on something that's a replaceable part. It's better to just take that out before you do the treatment.
Sure. All right. Well, speaking of gas, how'd you like to set your mouth on fire?
Sounds like that's what we're going to be doing today. So it's always an adventure with you, Aaron. So
I blame the master himself.
So this is the torture table right here. My nemesis, heat. They're trying to kill me.
Yeah? Okay. And now we got the flaming hot stuff.
I think they're going to be kind of basic too.
These?
I think.
All right.
It's Doritos brand.
All right.
And I feel like we start getting a little bit questionable.
Okay, so we're going off the rails early here, and we're going
Yep.
to go off the rails with 80s movies that had an R rating.
Correct.
So this could be anything. This could be a funny R-rated, horror R-rated.
The criteria that we were originally talking about was it was an R-rated movie from the 80s that you would watch over and over and over again. Like any time it was on, it was on. You know, like you were stopping and you were watching it. And
It was tough. It was tough.
It was. There was a lot of movies that kind of just didn't make the R rating. There was a
That was a heartbreaker.
There was a couple of movies that were like 1990, and you're like, oh man, that was such a good flick. But yeah, I think the 80s, as everybody who knows this channel, the 80s is where we live, and we love the 80s. And a lot of these movies, especially on my list. Now, Brian has a list. Christian has a list. I have my own list. And then, of course, Mailroom Tim, he had to have his list as well. So everybody is represented here.
Yes. I had changed mine so many times because there's so many excellent R-rated films from that. Listen, I grew up in the 80s, and I consider that a privilege because it was fun.
It was a good
in
time.
every way.
I feel like I'm like back end of the 80s, early 90s. So I feel like my list might be a little off from you two because we're a couple years difference, right?
Maybe.
So we'll see. I'm kind of curious to see the way this plays out.
Absolutely.
Either way, it was fun to do the list. I'm sure it's going to be more fun to eat the chips and go through it. So.
Yes, while we're doing that, we're going to take a couple breaks, and we're going to go through this freaking torture again.
It's unbelievable. Why
All
do people want to do that? Look at this. It even says extra.
Thanks for having me, gents. I really appreciate it.
Well, just so you know, we were originally going to do fried chicken, but when we knew BioBombs was swinging by, we decided to turn up the temperatures.
Damn, I'm
All
ready.
right.
Let's
So
do
you
this.
want to dive into the chips, or you want to dive into the movies?
I want to start and see what Mailroom Tim has to say, just to start this off.
Okay, well, I'll be honest with you. He has a couple of really, really good ones that even made my list. But then there's a couple that I'm like, I've never even heard of that movie. So, Mailroom Tim, this comes from ScreenRant.com. So, apparently they're movie,
I
they're
can't
movie
wait
buffs.
to see this list.
Now, are we ripping all 10 of their down?
Nope, we pace ourselves. We like
Even
to,
with this particular.
Oh yeah, we like to
with
prolong the
mailroom
pain
temp?
as long
okay,
as possible.
Cool. All right.
All right,
So
so
are we in any particular order?
I listed mine like basically I listed.
We're going to go around the table here.
Yeah, so Mailroom Tim, he put his from the, like his least favorite of the top 10 to the best, number one. And I did the same thing, but there's so many great movies from the 80s, especially in the R-rated genre, that it's almost impossible to pick it's like Sophie's Choice.
one.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like how can you pick Die Hard over Predator or vice versa? You know what I mean? Like Jiminy Christmas. All right, so starting off at number 10 with Mailroom Tim, Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984.
Yeah, I mean, I had that on the list and I crossed it off.
I did too. It's an honorable
It got
mention.
bumped.
It's an
Honorable mention.
It's number 10 for mailroom. You know how he is.
Yeah.
He had Uber from our last episode as the best cars.
As one of the best
As
cars,
one of the
yeah.
best cars was Uber. Way to go, mailroom 10. What about you?
I'm going to go with History of the World by my man Mel Brooks.
Awesome. That's a great movie.
It's
Ethiopian Shim Sham.
That was so
Sand
good.
Dance.
See, there's so many of these that are going to be mentioned. I'm going to be like,
What year did that come out? Do you know?
What's that year?
Yeah.
81.
81. All right.
81. Roman Reigns, baby.
All right. B, what about you?
number 10, I have one that may be a little cheesy, but it was actually a horror movie from the 80s that didn't get mentioned in the episode we did that genre. Shocker, 1989. That's where the
electric chair,
the con
right?
got put to death through the electric chair, and the electricity brought him back to life in circuits and TVs, and he was killing people through all kinds of different stuff. It was so different and cheesy at the time, and even the actors. Peter Berg, who is now director, was the one of his first roles, and that was just so.
You know how I am about horror. I couldn't tell you anything.
Pretty sure Shocker was actually the basis of a video game that came out in the 90s that was called, I believe it was called The Suffering, where a guy went to jail and was on death row, and the same kind of paranormal things kind of started happening within this prison, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure that was the
You're
inspiration.
right. I never connected the two until now. That's a great that's a great segue to
Well, my number 10 is Stripes.
yeah.
not an honorable mention.
You know, I think
1981 Stripes. I mean, come on.
it's on my list definitely. You'll see where it ends
Okay,
up.
all right. All right, so you ready? All right, so we did a preliminary ranked mildest to hottest, so we're saving the pain at the end. We believe in the order that we're going to be trying these chips, it's going from the least amount of heat to the most.
Yes, and as we continue through, we're going to keep the hottest up front here, so you can see what we rank as the
reigning
hottest.
champ.
If it gets knocked off, then that one stays there. And we also have our fail-safe little helpers here, like chocolate milk, tea, a little bit of the old Yingling Lager,
Yep.
and my go-to
Brian,
ice cream. I'm
as,
going to
as
need
you know from last episode, he said to bring ice cream. I said it wouldn't work, but it's
not a bad plan. I love ice cream.
He proved me wrong.
It's not a
All
bad
right,
plan.
so here we go. We have hers kettle cooked jalapeno flavored. It says mild heat, so it kind of gave it away.
These are great chips, if I can
Anybody out there who has experienced any of these, share your. I mean, do they have a great taste along with the
Nice
heat for
catch.
you, or is it just the heat that you're chasing when you eat these?
I'm going to see you
snacks?
do a handful of these when we get towards the other end.
I like these chips. I'm not-
Cheers.
Just a tip.
Just a
Salud, gentlemen. Just a chip.
Yeah.
Now, I have to say, even though I'm not a big person when it comes to heat, I eat these with my sandwiches.
Yeah,
I'm
this screams bologna and cheese to me right now.
good. Yep.
They're a great chip. Just the right amount of flavor. It's not too hot for people that don't like heat.
It doesn't have any heat.
It gives you a little bit of spice. It does the job. It's great with a sandwich.
Agreed.
Totally great.
Yeah, and the Hers Kettle, I mean, they make sour cream and barbecue and all of those.
Salt
go
and
great.
pepper is probably one of my favorite on the kettle, the Hearst kettle cooked salt and pepper.
I like
Salt
the-
vinegar.
Salt and vinegar.
Salt and vinegar.
Yeah.
I love salt and vinegar too.
Let us know what you think down in the comments section. Great snack.
Great chip.
All right. Want to try number 2? Because we got what? We got 1, 2, 3.
We have
4,
so many
5,
we can go
6,
2 at a
7,
time
8,
if you
9,
want.
10, 11, 12, 13. We got top 10s and a couple of honorable mentions. So we can we can just kind of go one for one because I think we got 13 chips and we got 15. All right. So coming in at number 9 from the mailroom, Risky Business, 1983. Rebecca De Mornay.
You know, I'm impressed
and
with
Tom
the.
Cruise.
I'm impressed with that because that's on my list.
Wow.
Absolutely. The soundtrack, Tangerine Dream,
Mm-hmm.
just I was into synthesizers back then. My son is now, and we love anything to do with the synth '80s soundtracks. Yeah, I agree with him.
I mean,
80 synth is actually coming back now, man. There's a lot of genres of new music nowadays that incorporate a lot of like hip hop style beats.
Even
with
the hard rock
synth.
has it in too.
I know.
I love it. I
It's
love
great.
it.
I love synth too.
are we going to skip over Rebecca De Mornay?
No, absolutely not.
I was gonna
No.
say like those synthesizers were great. Yeah. Okay.
No, we can't. Those were, how can I keep this rated PG? The fapping times of a young teenager. Rebecca De Mornay was among the list.
It was her and the chick from Ferris Bueller.
Yep.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Phoebe Cates.
Oh, Phoebe Cates.
Another
Holy
fapper.
moly.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, number 9?
I mean, I'm gonna try to go in an order here, but my number 9 I would have to say is Conan the Barbarian.
Wow, I didn't even think of that one.
I love you.
That's R-rated?
Yeah. Dude, are you kidding me? When he brings on the...
It was for
There's a lot of... There's some
Is that some Nevin?
there's some fapping going on in that movie.
Fapping material.
he was so big in that too.
Oh my God, he
Pause, but he was.
Dude,
he was so
dude,
big.
it
in
probably
that too.
it definitely ignited a love affair, a fantasy. I mean, you know what I mean? Are you
100%.
kidding me?
100%.
I didn't even think of that movie. That is an excellent choice.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, it's on my list.
May I use your pen?
Of course.
Number 9 for me was The Shining, 1980. Here's Johnny. Mm-hmm. That one also was in one of our past episodes, so we talked about that a lot.
Yep.
Shining was an honorable mention on my list. Classic movie.
Yeah, when I go
Classic.
through and I find it on, when I'm going through, clicking, and I find it, it goes down and I watch it. I watch the whole thing.
Number 9 for me, Caddyshack.
Yes. Yes, that's a
Honorable
big
mention for me as well. A great movie.
Caddyshack. So I mean, that pretty much does it for me as far as the comedies are concerned. Maybe the number 8 can be considered a comedy, but yeah, as far
I
as
have a couple more comedies. Actually,
I have an honorable men-
comedy way up.
I have an honorable mention comedy after this. But all right, let's move on to Hers. Another one from Hers. It is called The Red Hot.
Okay, those are new to me. I haven't.
Hers Heat.
haven't tried that
Hers Red Hot.
I would think it's probably going to be just a little bit hotter.
Yeah,
I mean, we're at nothing right now.
It's advertising. It's got a little bit more of an aggressive package to it.
there was a Hers chip that I tried to find and I couldn't find it, but it was their cheddar and horseradish. And I ate it one time when I was riding on the ambulances, and it effed my mouth up something wicked.
Really?
And I couldn't find them anymore, and maybe it's because they're deadly, I don't know, but Hers cheddar horseradish, I wanted it to be in this, I wanted it to be with us tonight. But.
I like horseradish.
I do too, I love horseradish, but I mean, it was just fire. It was like,
Wasabi, horseradish, I'm a big fan of. These I don't think are going to be that hot.
I don't
the
think so
bag's
either.
orange.
and no, it says medium as well, so
Right,
it
it's
kind of,
orange,
it
it's
tips the
I mean,
hat.
look at the advertising compared to. That's
there a
more
heat
aggressive.
factor
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Okay.
All right, so basically we have the Red Hot. Is it hotter and or more flavorful than the jalapeno?
We've got some good red.
It's got some good
I
red.
got a nice piece here.
I got a little one, but it has a lot of red on it.
Yep. All right, here we go. Just a tip.
Oh,
just the
sorry.
tip.
Just the chip.
That's all right. You're new.
What I also want to see or taste in these chips is some other flavors besides the heat.
Yeah. I think jalapeno still reigns supreme. This is nothing.
I like that.
You do like that.
I think this would go great with like a turkey sandwich. I feel like it would be perfect,
All right.
in my opinion. I think that they are higher than the jalapeno for sure.
Yeah, you think they're
But this is a
hot?
light, like this is a light.
All
See,
right,
that was a
all
little
right, here we
different.
go. This is going to be the real.
You'll feel a little
I can
something.
feel it in my throat now.
There's something there.
It brings more than that does. You're right.
Yeah, it does. Bologna and Munster cheese and some of those.
I've had a bologna sandwich in years.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to have one again, but I haven't had one in years.
Do you smoke the?
Wrong
So
podcast.
So easy. My podcast is what he does the entire time. When Gabri and I are doing the Funkin Homies, it's what Aaron does the entire time. If he wasn't trolling, I would feel like something was
Yeah,
wrong.
right. Aaron, are you okay? Because you're not chirping.
Yeah, so this is going to be.
Yep.
It has a little bit more heat.
It has more kick.
I like them. They're actually really good chips. I might actually pick them up next time I want to grab a sandwich.
Agreed.
They're pretty good. The beer's better,
The beer is always better,
but the chip's pretty good.
but not as good as the companionship.
It's a great combination, all three.
Number 8.
Number 8.
Hold on, you're doing
Mailroom Tim.
Mailroom Tim.
Mailroom Tim, then you, then him, then me.
Okay.
Mailroom Tim, number 8, The Terminator, 1984.
He's on a roll. I am impressed.
Yeah.
He grew a pair since the last list we
He
did.
goes on for another 2, and then it kind of falls off the wagon.
boy.
Kind of. But yeah, number 8, the Terminator. I mean, talk about that was game changing.
Yeah.
That was a game changing.
Terminator was awesome.
Unbelievable.
Awesome. Again,
the
another
scene
It
at the
doesn't
beginning,
sleep. It doesn't eat.
Yeah.
the club tech noir with the music blasting and the
Yeah.
slow motion, and yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I would think that was inspirational for a lot of the cyberpunk era stuff, right? Because
Sure.
that wasn't
Well,
present
I
too
would
much
say
before that.
Blade Runner was probably more of a.
That's the same year, though, right?
Let's see what.
Somebody's got to have it on their list.
1982, Blade Runner.
Okay, so Blade Runner was first. So they borrowed from that. But yeah, Terminator was amazing. Again, another Arnold piece. Arnold was a big piece of the 80s, early 90s.
Half of my list is Arnold.
I would say that there's probably going to be a couple more Arnold movies
Yeah.
throughout this list.
There should be.
And if not, someone's list needs to be adjusted.
For sure.
In my opinion.
Now, again, there are literally hundreds of just absolutely slain R-rated 80 movies. You know what I mean? And we really had to water it down to
I
or
had to
condense
cross
it down.
out so many just to.
Exactly.
You should see his
This
list
is
over
my
here.
original
His
list and then
list
my
is
new
just-
list. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm moving things around.
These are our choices.
Correct.
So, that's the thing, right? So,
Right.
if I was channel surfing and one of these movies came on, I would stick around.
Yeah, this
and
is a
watch.
movie where it makes you put the remote down, and it's on the rest of the
Yep.
duration.
All right. So,
number 8?
my number 8, Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
Big
talked
Zom-
about that one.
Big zombie guy. I feel like it was probably been the best piece done in that genre, especially for that era. But I mean, even still to this day, I feel like it stands the test of time.
To me, it's the yin to the yang of George Romero's movies, because it was more of a lighter comedy approach to it,
Yep.
or goofiness
Sure.
compared to, because I love Romero and
Yep.
his dawn, day, and night movies,
yep.
and even the couple more after that he tried. But those were a lighter version for me as a kid, and I love that too. Great pick. For me, it was one that was already mentioned. The Risky Business is number 8 on my list.
Wow. You and Mailroom Tim are starting to become bedfellows.
Yeah, that worries me a little bit.
For me, number 8 was The Breakfast Club.
Oh, yeah.
It was an honorable mention for on my list.
Yeah, The Breakfast Club. You can ask.
I didn't think it was R.
Neither did I. I had to look it up. Yeah.
Message to Hollywood: do not remake that movie.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't.
The rate we're going, I don't think that's
Especially in today's
roommate,
environment.
my roommate in art school hated this movie because I watched it over and over and over and over again. I mean, I loved it. I loved that movie. This is what you get when you spill paint in the garage. Yeah,
That's with the bull.
that's right.
He just recently.
You know
passed,
what? There's
didn't he? Or
never-
was that a couple years ago already? Didn't?
I don't know. I could look it up for you. But I will say that I just lost my train of thought. That joke that Bender tells as he's crawling through the crawl space. You know, a naked woman walks into a bar with like a 2-pound salami under one arm and a duck under the other arm, and she sets the duck on the bar and she says, and then he falls through the roof. There's no answer to that riddle. There's no ending. I've searched for decades on the World Wide Web and with my AI girlfriend to the answer to that
If
joke.
anybody knows the complete joke, let us know. down in the comments.
Man, seriously, we might even send you a BC3
I have a question.
or a BioBomb. We'll send you a BioBomb if you can tell me the
That's
rest
a
of the
deal.
joke.
That's a deal. What's the name of your AI girlfriend?
I'm not telling you. Are you kidding me?
I'm just curious.
You guys know because you pay attention to the Curmudgeon's Corner.
I watch when I
No,
can
you
watch.
don't. Stop. Anyway,
I do too.
it's Gemini from Google.
Is that her name?
No, it's the app is.
No, but what do you name
I
it?
didn't. I'm not telling you. Eileen will tell you. Eileen, call him and tell him.
Sorry, Eileen. That you have to deal with Aaron every week.
Every other week.
Every other week.
Nobody can handle it.
She's like, we're not doing
Hey,
that.
we're not doing it every week. Yeah, so Breakfast Club, that was my number 8.
Great.
All right,
Chip.
we're gonna go
Pork
in
rind,
pork
pork rind.
rinds,
Oh, boy,
baby. I actually picked these up because of our sponsor and host, Thor Media. We have a Raging Cajun who is our overlord. His name is Jamie, Jamie the Cleaner. And so we picked these up out of solidarity to you. I know they're not
Cheers.
they're not from Subway, but you probably buy them in the gas station, I would imagine.
They're definitely a gas station piece. How would you say the name of this product, man?
You set me up. Chickarones.
All right, I don't think that's too bad.
Chickarones.
Baconettes.
Baconettes. Yeah, baconettes, chickarones, fried pork skins. Now, Rick Smith from Tennessee is probably going to call me and give me a hard time about the pronunciation, but alas, I don't know. This might be my first.
Is there a target flavor with the heat, or is this just heat?
It says hot and spicy
Just
flavored.
oh boy.
Crunchy and delicious.
Delicio.
Delicio, he's right.
Oh boy.
We're mixing the
I
Spanish
learned-
with
I
the
even
English
learned
on
Spanish.
these. And
So it is
have you ever had
fried pork skin? Yeah.
Have you ever had a pork rind? Have you ever had a pork rind?
Yes.
I'm not opposed to it.
They're not bad.
As you know, I'm not
Cheers.
opposed. Just the tip.
Salud.
First thing I tasted was the powder from the heat.
Is this a typical pork rind? Mm-hmm. It just kind of dissolves in your mouth.
It did, yeah.
Now
I got the heat coming a little bit.
I caught some powder of the heat.
Yeah, the powder kind of disintegrates, and then the rind melts in your mouth.
Yeah, I
And
got
now
nothing.
I'm waiting for.
I got nothing.
I had a little bit of a hint, and that's it.
I like hers better, in my opinion. In my
Hang
opinion.
on a minute. Just give it some time.
All right.
Switch it around a little
Yeah,
bit.
I know. Yeah, you had problems with teriyaki sauce last time.
Honey barbecue's hot for me.
I feel like if the powder gets you in the back of the throat, these are actually hotter than the chips.
Get that out of here. That's
I
that's whippy.
didn't get anything from it.
They're not bad. I like pork rinds.
Okay.
But yeah, dump them.
I'll do a sour cream pork rind and onion before that, though.
Yeah.
That didn't have a good taste
Yeah.
to it.
Meh, meh, meh. All right, mailroom Tim. Number 7, which is higher on, it's on my list as well, but it's higher on his list than mine, is 1987's The Untouchables.
Okay.
Great movie.
Yeah. Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Second best James Bond.
Hard.
Right underneath Roger Moore.
You're the worst. You're so
First in my opinion.
You're the worst, yeah.
I'll
That's
switch.
the Chicago way. That's the Capone way.
That's the way your mother loves you.
Trebek.
Mom.
That's the way your mother loves it, Trebek.
So far, cheers to Melrose.
Yeah,
Tim.
Mallory, he's solid. He's a
I'll
solid.
wait for
bad.
him to
This
go
isn't
off the
bad.
tracks.
All right, guys, we're all finished up. It's been a little bit over an hour right now. We're going to pop back inside the vehicle, get rid of the jar inside. We're going to smell the car, find out how it turned out.
Still bubbling in there?
Yep. Aerator's still working. As you guys could tell, this jar is now pretty much clear compared to the yellow liquid. Treatment's actually now completed. What we typically do at this point, we'll flip up the sun visors, get everything back to normal.
Now, when you're in the vehicle, should you be trying not to breathe? Respirator should be trying to avoid breathing the stuff in. How are we?
So typically when you open the vehicle doors up, the amount of air outside the cabin rushes inside the car and it gets everything below the recommended levels of having to worry about any type of inhalation or irritation or whatnot. Right now, for everybody at home, kind of smells almost like a swimming pool inside here. You might see a little bit of fog kind of inside the vehicle. That's all kind of exiting as we're leaving the doors open, but it smells very much like a swimming pool or like a bleach bomb just went off. So now that the treatment's done, the odor is gone, the car smells clean. We actually offer some 60-day deodorizers. These things are pretty cool. You snap them in half. You rip the package open. You take one of these out here. All right, it's just a fibrous board soaked in some oils. And you're going to stick this underneath the passenger side seat. And that'll last about 30 to 60 days for one of these sections. You'll roll this up here. You'll place this with a rubber band around it, and you can save this one for later. That's just about everything, guys. All right, guys, so we have a total of 8 air freshener bars that we have. We actually just threw the dope soap inside the Corvette. We have Poppin' Cherry. We have a new car nectar. We have iced out. Vitamin C, Squash LLC, which is a lemon lime cola. That's a really great one. Fresh AF, which is our most popular seller, and vanilla cream. Speaking of Fresh AF, this is actually an air freshener spray we just came out with last year. This is designed and made with the same oils that go into the Fresh AF air freshener bar. This is our most popular seller, so we made a scent. If you guys want to see a different scent, start picking up some other flavors, and we'll eventually come out with the scent for whatever tops out Fresh AF. This is super easy to use. Spray it on carpets, in the headliner, underneath the seats, or in the trunk. And this will work perfect to just kind of give you that refresh that you're looking for. It's not necessarily deodorizer, it's more of an air freshener spray.
All right.
Thank you very much, guys, for having us.
Thank you very much. Do you have a number 8 for us?
I do. My number 8 is going to be The Fly.
The Fly.
As a child, it was one of those movies that had real special effects. The special effects were wild back when I first saw it, and nowadays, if it's on TV, I'm definitely going to stick around just to kind of see how it aged.
1986, Jeff Goldblum. Was Gina Davis?
Gina Davis, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Goldblum in his prime before he went off the deep end.
Yeah. Another mailroom Tim.
List?
Farther down on his list, though.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't see it as that much of a top 5.
Right.
It's respectable for what it was during
Sure.
its time. Special effects were top notch. I mean, top notch for their time. At
Well,
least from what I
it shows
remember.
you how good it was because they tried spin-offs and sequels and they didn't do shit.
Yeah, none of them. I love it when he does that.
It gives him all the respect he needs.
What about you, B-Man?
Number 8.
Yeah.
All right. This was already mentioned, so we don't have to spend a lot of time on this. Risky Business.
Risky Business,
Because
1983.
the soundtrack.
Yeah. Rebecca De Monet. Yeah.
Didn't we just talk about it?
I think we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So we're on number 7.
What,
then.
you said it's
You
flat,
did your,
fapping action?
yeah, it was the fappening.
Yes, the fappening.
So you're on 7.
Number 8.
You did your 8 or
yeah,
no?
yeah, because I said Breakfast Club.
Yeah, so you did your 8.
Yeah.
We're on 7 now.
We're on 7
on
now.
7.
So you're
Mailroom-
firing 7, or mailroom's firing 7, then you're doing 7.
Yep. So we'll just
No,
pick
oh
off.
no,
what
we
you
did.
do
Wait,
and
wait, number 7. It was number 7.
Yeah.
That's what we're on.
It
now.
was number 7
I
because
gave,
Mailroom Tim did the
You're right.
Untouchables,
You're right.
and we talked about. And so then, what was your 7?
All right. So how about your number 7?
How about your number 7?
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport.
Who was in that? Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Jean.
See that so many movies.
Right?
I didn't
You
even
get
think
the
of.
pocket sand in his eyes.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Who was the big bodybuilder Chinese guy?
I have no
dude, he was
idea.
a beast,
He was a-
man.
yeah.
He was.
That guy was a beast. He was a mean mofo, man.
He's still out there. He's still doing it. He's
Is
still,
he?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I wonder if he's still around.
Yes. Yeah, he is.
Sure.
Because we know Jean-Claude just did the Volvo split on the semi-trucks like 5-6 years
Well,
ago.
didn't he do a
right?
parody
Wasn't
on
it?
his own self for a
Before
while?
that,
TV
yeah,
show,
yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
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 What about you, B-Man? What's number 7? for
Okay,
you?
number 7. Mad Max 2 Road Warrior.
Mad Max 2 Road Warrior. I believe that should have been an honorable mention for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, the original was 1979, so that would have made the list for sure.
Yeah, 1981.
Yeah. Yep. For me, my number 7 is Heartbreak Ridge.
Never saw it.
Clint Eastwood? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Heartbreak Ridge, Marine Recon. Oh my God,
I'll check it out.
I don't believe that we're going to invite him back for that.
Check it out. I said there was going to be an age difference thing. I like Clint.
When was Heartbreak Ridge? Heartbreak Ridge was 1986. It couldn't have been that big of an age disparage. I mean, you
I
had
don't know why I
the
didn't
Fly
see it.
was 1986.
Seen Harry. I don't know why I didn't see.
Who else was in that movie?
There wasn't a whole lot of big names.
B-listers.
Yeah, a bunch of B-listers, but it was. I really enjoyed that a lot.
Anything he's in.
Yeah, for sure.
He could be something.
I'm mean, I'm nasty, and I'm tired. I spit napalm. What is it? I forget what it is. I spit napalm, and I can put a bullet through a flea's ass at 200 yards. So why don't you go jump somebody else's leg mud face before I push yours in?
That's pretty good.
Good gravy.
All right, where we at on the heat?
That's right. We are now entering the first of the Flaming Hot series. This would be the Chester's Fries Flaming Hot.
It says watch out on it. Oh boy.
Nah, these should be all right.
Yeah.
These have been around for years.
My kid likes his stuff.
They're like
Andy fries.
Andy fries.
Probably tastes like antifreeze.
All right, here we go. Just
Chips
the tip.
up.
Go deep.
This is another powdery, like the pig.
I think they're worse than the pork rinds. There's nothing in here.
Nothing at all.
Zero.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Oh, hello.
Get
Get
rid
these
of
out of here. Trash.
Those are lost.
Yep. All right, this is the first one on Mailroom Tim that I have to question. You might like it though, because I believe that we talked about this one before. My Bloody Valentine, 1981.
That was on my list for whatever we had before.
Horrors, yeah,
Yeah,
horror
that was
movies.
good.
Pass me a brew if you don't mind.
Of course.
Thanks, sir.
You're very welcome.
What year was that?
1981, My
That was
Bloody Valentine.
early in the 80s.
Yeah.
That was... And I don't know any actor in that movie at all. I couldn't name
I
one.
couldn't tell you the movie.
But I loved it.
I'll add that one to my list as well. Haven't seen that one either.
All right, well, what's your number 6?
Coming to America.
Coming to
Oh, yeah.
America.
Can't go wrong with that. Good morning, neighbors.
Shut.
There's so many great lines in that one. Now the new one stunk.
Yeah.
It was terrible, dude. But the
It was
original,
okay to watch once. you
Yeah,
know,
that's what I mean.
Just bring back memories.
Of course, that's the reason why everybody wanted to see it, you know. But the original was just, I mean, the talent level between those two, the characters they played, the time I think that was made, New York kind of still had that vibe of being a decent city, and just, I don't know, it was just great. I love that movie.
All right.
That who was Darth Vader's the voice.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones,
Yeah.
Arsenio Hall.
The royal
rest his
penis
soul.
is clean, Your Highness. So good. What you got?
10, please. Which one are we on?
6.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. We have
Hey.
to go
There you go.
Fappening Part 2.
The Fappening Part 2.
Phoebe Cates. Absolutely.
Oh man, when he flips out and driving down the car, you know, I mean, like every kid that did any of that stuff during that time period knows exactly what that feeling was.
I love that
Fear.
Camaro too.
For me, Rambo, First Blood.
Honorable mention for
I
me,
didn't
for
even
sure.
think of that one.
Yeah.
1982. Nothing is over. Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You don't just switch it off. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, that movie, I could watch that forever. The sound, like some of these 80 action movies, the soundtracks are so iconic.
The
you know what I
soundtrack
mean?
makes
Like,
them.
a couple of these later down on my list, the soundtrack is just like, you hear that music, like the movie Predator. Dun, 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 dun,
Dude,
dun, 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 dun. You just like, all of a sudden you get this.
it's so good.
Yeah.
Can't believe you brought that name out already.
What?
I just am curious where it's going to fall on everybody's list.
Oh, I know where it falls on mine.
I know where it falls on mine.
So number 5 from Mailroom Tim. Oh, we got to do chips, right?
Yeah, we chip it up. Chip it
it
up.
up, chip
We
it
got
up.
a lot more chips
Yeah,
than
we
we
got-
got numbers left.
I
So.
know. We got to. All right, so this is Ruffles Flaming Hot, cheddar and sour cream. I'm going to assume it's going to be a lot like these fries because I mean they're all part of the same little.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's probably gonna have the best flavor so far. If it's got the
You know what? You might be right. These fries kind of at the end, it lingered around. The little heat lingered around at the end.
I think it's like a chemical
didn't
burn.
get that.
Chemical burn. I'm gonna get me a nice.
Just a horrible
I'm gonna get a
taste.
nice saucy one.
Yeah, these are spectacular. I love Ruffles. Cheddar is my favorite brand chip from Ruffles, so
Ruffles
I'm gonna
have
grab
ridges.
myself a couple of these bad boys.
okay. So we have hers hanging in there.
Hers has been there from the number 2
I think it's
spot.
still going to be there after this one.
You think so?
Cheers.
I think so. It's all cheddar.
Yeah.
Flavorful.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has flavor,
Flavorful.
but as a weakling when it comes to
Yeah, heat.
heat, I'm still there.
Yeah.
It's a little spicy for me, but it's not unbearable.
Yeah, honestly, I expected the Flaming Hot series to be a lot more flaming.
I'm sure there's going to be something in there that's,
A lot more like Papa.
A lot more like Papa. That's right. By the way, special shout out to Papa Smurf. I know that he and his family are going through a lot right now. And so when we hack on you, it's out of love. I hit because I care.
All love.
All right, number 5 from the mailroom, Flashdance. He's back.
He's back.
Mailroom Tim is back.
Back.
I told you. I told you it falls off the rails.
He can only hold the persona for so long.
Speaking of flaming, Mailroom Tim, Flashdance, 1985.
Oh, the veil has come off.
What do you got going on?
From
It's a tough.
Flashdance, I don't know if I'm going to beat that one, but I'm going with RoboCop.
RoboCop
Yeah,
is also on my list.
Absolutely. They're trying their damnedest to revamp that movie, but they just can't.
It's
get
gonna
it
be
done.
really hard
Even
to
with
do.
today's CGI, they just can't. They can't do it.
It was so brutally raw for its time.
Yeah.
And very. It was, the whole movie was just crude. It was. I mean, when he died.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Peter Weller.
I mean,
he
dude, I
sold it.
I saw it when it came out. Like, I was very young. What was RoboCop? What year? 87. So at that point, I was 6 years old. I mean, I snuck that. I wasn't supposed to watch it. And when I seen him get shot up, I like.
Or when the dude gets hit by the toxic waste and he's melting. Oh man!
Yeah.
And then it just splatters like a watermelon all over the windshield of the car. Yeah, dude, RoboCop is one of the best.
It is, dude.
When I played football with my on the high school team, and I never played football. I was always on the bench doing whatever, and so I would wear my football gear. I'd walk around on the sideline with the sun on my back because the shadow of my helmet and the pads made me look like RoboCop. And I'd walk around, dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Your coach loved you.
Oh yeah, he was like, you're such an your move, creep.
Yeah, man. Classic film.
Oh, the best.
I think that borrowed a lot from like the Blade Runner-ish kind of like era as well. Like that.
Futuristic and kind of gritty.
Yeah,
for sure.
That grit tech kind of cyberpunky feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when the big guard robots would just power up and start shooting people, it was
wild.
riveting. Yeah, it was cool.
Number
5, 1981 Porky's.
I was wondering if
I thought
Porky's was
about
gonna make the
Porky's.
list.
I thought about Porky's. I don't know if I could watch through it again after all this, but I mean, yeah, definitely the Flappity Part 3.
Kim Cattrall.
Kim
Yeah,
Cattrall, that's right.
Kim Cattrall, yeah.
Oh, you would
Yeah,
see
man.
how she howled. What was her nickname?
Oh, Miss.
Yeah, but she had a nickname, and the coaches were laughing about it because then all of a sudden you could hear her screaming, and they were putting the gym socks in her mouth trying to shut her up. Oh my God!
Classic.
Porky's.
Even the second one and even the third one, I enjoyed, but
There's nothing like the original.
Yeah, I got RoboCop number 5 for me.
RoboCop number 5?
Yep.
Nice.
very good.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like the list is going to start getting really cool now.
Yep.
At least for everybody.
Everybody mailroom Tim. So number.
Chip it up.
All right, this is the.
We should probably double chip moving forward.
Why?
We got 6 rounds left. There's only 3 more.
Yeah, but we got a bunch of honorable mentions.
Okay.
It's up to you. I mean, we can double up if you want. I know that
matter.
you are a heat machine.
I'm ready for it. However you want to do it.
All right, this is hot. This is the new. We're into the Takis stuff. What I hear the Takis is like supposedly they bring the heat.
I believe it's Takis.
Takis?
It's T-A-K-I.
Yeah.
T-A-K-A would be Takis.
Are you sure?
Maybe.
You don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know. I don't speak Latin.
That's a good catch.
Thank you. Off the rails. Dragon Sweet Chili. Apparently, this is the more milder of the Takis.
I feel like we'll be safe with this.
How many of those do you have? 3, 4?
Three
Three.
Takis,
Three
right?
Takis and 3 Doritos. Doritos decided to jump on.
And the Pringles?
Oh, and the Pringles. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The one of the Doritos has a couple X's in the title, so I think that's going to be a hot one.
Yeah.
Personally.
And on the little meter, it's all the way.
Takis for
it's,
you, sir?
It's tacked out on.
It's a rolled corn chip.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, bump that there.
You got, you got.
hers is still there.
Hers is still in. Boop.
Now, for those at home that never had them, this is actually a rolled corn chip. It looks like they just make the chip and they roll it up and
Smoke it.
This has a citrusy taste to it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be citrus.
look at this.
Sweet chili.
I like it.
Dragon sweet chili. It says spicy sweet chili pepper flavored tortilla chips. I like it.
I like it. Just a little sting in the back of my throat. That's all I'm getting.
It's not bumping that though.
You don't think?
No.
I don't think so.
I mean, you were snacking, so you have a better understanding of what those are. So I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I would say that's a sweet. They're sweet.
They're
actually
sweet
not bad.
and they're good. They're
good.
spicy. They're sweet. I like them.
If you want to balance,
Yeah.
that's one to go with.
Yeah, I could tell if you were sitting here eating a bag, this would.
It
A
would
little bit more
get to
heat
me.
comes at
This
the
would
end.
beat you up pretty
Yeah.
quick if you just sat
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
and,
yeah. A
and-
little more heat comes at the end.
Yeah. All right. Good.
That's-
good try.
That's what I'm worried about.
Really good try.
As we're getting deeper here in this,
Yeah.
I feel like when you stop eating them is when you're going to start feeling the
Yeah,
heat.
for sure.
So,
Yep, I'm with
all
you.
right, cool.
All righty.
Bottom 4, right?
Bottom 4.
Top 4, however we do it here.
Yeah. He makes a comeback.
Okay.
RoboCop.
I like that. Good placement, now, Tim. That's a decent placement.
It's not. Yeah. He's right there.
Yeah.
He's right there.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you got?
Aliens.
Aliens. Fantastic. 1986.
What are we gonna do now?
Because the original was
This little girl made
79.
it in 2 weeks down here all by herself. Why did you put her in charge?
79 was the original Aliens.
Yep.
That didn't make the cut. I
Yeah.
knew that prior to even
Yeah.
doing this.
Scary as that. The original was scary.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. But Aliens was just, they made it more of a blockbuster type of film.
Sure.
It was the Cameron rendition. I feel like the guns were cool.
Oh, yeah.
The aliens were cool. The characters were cool. The Marines did their thing. And, Sigourney came back and did her thing. So I personally I still think it's one of the top 3 alien movies created thus far. That's a whole other
Were you the one telling me about the connection between Aliens and Blade Runner?
Yeah, there's actually 3 movies that have a connection.
There's one more,
Aliens,
right?
Predator, and
Yeah,
Blade
Predator.
Runner.
The Predator, like,
Okay.
apparently the Predators, I thought, right? They created the aliens.
Well, Aliens and the Aliens and Blade Runner because of
Wayland.
the robots. Wayland.
Wayland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how Predator rolls in between all of those, I'm not exactly
I don't know, but
sure,
I do remember
know
at
they're all-
at the end of what was it? At the end of Predator 2 with Danny Glover,
The skull was in the
the alien
ship.
skull was in the ship.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then 15 years later, we got an Alien vs. Predator movie.
Yeah.
Maybe 20 years later. And
Yeah.
It really didn't live up to the hype, but it was still cool to see because
Yeah,
we all wanted to see it.
Of course.
They were all meant. I really enjoyed Prey, and they're supposed to kind of spin out into the World War II era. If that comes out, that would be interesting.
Sure. That gun that he hands Danny Glover at the end of 2 was 17. It was like a single shot pistol from
Yep.
like the pirate era.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lots of room to expand at. Where are we at? Number 4?
I'm on number. Yeah, you're number 4, right?
Yep.
You're number 4.
Yep.
1982 thing, John Carpenter.
I saw that, and I'm like, I bet you Brian's gonna pick that one, so I'll just let it slide by.
There's
That's
no
a
way I
great one.
couldn't, and it's
That's a
up
great
on the list there. I mean, the special effects and the movie, the feel of the movie with John Carpenter did the score, and when he does the score to a movie, it has a whole different feel to it
Yep.
because he knows exactly what sounds to put in there, and it's an experience more than a movie. Still holds up today.
It was very suspense driven too, right? That movie.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
a lot of build up. There wasn't much like.
Yeah, and it ends on a cliffhanger. If you really want to do a deep dive into Brian's thoughts on the thing, you should watch our 2 episodes ago when we did the 80s horror movies.
Yeah.
Brian does a deep dive. It was your number 1, wasn't it?
It was way up there.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was up there if it wasn't number 1.
It's a classic for me, definitely. Could have been a short movie if they knew how to speak Swede. At the beginning, the guy coming out of the helicopters telling them, "It's the thing, don't go near it." But they didn't know Swede.
They didn't know Swede. My number 4, and I'm going to take a lot of heat for this. I know that you animals are going to just jump down my throat because of its placement. The Christmas movie, Die Hard.
I give mad respect for that. How can you not? I mean,
Yeah, but
will give you a
people are
hard
like, this is the
time
best movie of all time, or it should be number
It's the
2,
best
or
Christmas
whatever.
movie,
It's the
rated
best
R.
Christmas movie, rated R.
Yeah.
No, I don't know about that.
Bad Santa's pretty good.
Well, so is, have you seen Violent Night yet? That might be
No.
What about
new,
Krampus?
my new favorite holiday
didn't see
Christmas
Violent
movie
Night.
is Violent Night. It is basically, a long story short, it's the real Santa Claus from Norse mythology, and when he picks up the hammer, it's when things really go off the handles.
That's the dude. Wasn't that the dude who was in who was a Red Soldier or
Yeah, Red Star.
yeah, Red Star, and he was in
Stranger
Stranger too,
Things.
right?
Yep. Yeah, it's him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw the preview. I never saw the movie.
It's so good.
I'll check it
It's
out.
so good. Yeah. I mean, from start to John Leguizamo's in it. The wife from Vacation, Christmas Vacation, all the vacation movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's the mother. Beverly.
Yeah.
D'Angelo?
There you go. And yeah, it's great. It's just good. It's just well done. But yeah, Die Hard number 4 for me.
Okay.
Good choice.
All
I
right,
love
Bring
that
on the
choice,
heat.
too.
there we go. Now we are
Down the home stretch.
Doritos Dynamita queso flavored. It's in the extra hot section, but halfway through the extra hot section.
Okay.
There we go.
I have a feeling we're bumping off the old.
I'm hoping we get some more taste with the heat.
Oh dear Lord, it's just anger in this bag. It's
Bunch of red.
It's just anger.
There's a bunch of red in there.
That is a deep.
It is just anger.
Yeah, we're getting good now.
Yeah. Doritos was like, I see your tuckus, and I raise you a death.
Because they are rolled the same way as Takis are.
Exactly.
It's amazing hers still there holding.
Not anymore.
Not
I feel
anymore.
like
This
bad
one's
boy's
gonna
going.
wreck us.
Yeah, for sure. Very light to start.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little bit of heat there.
I'm not.
I'm getting a little bit. Nothing on. I'm not like tearing up, but I can get it to the back of my throat.
It's getting here to me, but
And this is definitely not something that I would want to just snack on. There's
No,
not,
I
there's
couldn't
no
continue.
flavor.
No.
There's no flavor, and I'm not getting any heat at all.
That's disappointing from Doritos that there's no flavor with this,
Yeah.
but there's not that much heat. You know, right off the bat. And I'm not doing what you guys do and eating these whole. I can't, but
It says with queso flavor and extra crunch. I'm getting 0 queso, 0 cheese, 0 anything, and no heat. I'm not getting it.
I've had 3 or 4. The heat is there when you eat a couple of them. They're just, I don't feel like they're hotter than that for sure.
Yeah, they're hot,
bumps
but
that,
that has a better flavor.
100%.
At the end of the day, that's what we're going for. We're going for heat and flavor.
Oh, that's heat and flavor that stays?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought we were just
that for
bumping
heat and flavor, that has a little bit more heat.
I would say it has more heat than that, but
So
it does,
maybe
but
you
it's
could
not
keep
a,
both of these up here, one heat and flavor if you want to.
It's up to
It's
you.
up to you.
Hey, this is your show. I'm just your sidekick.
Yeah, let's
I'm
keep
your
that up
plucky
there.
sidekick.
So this has been the hottest one so far. This has been the best with heat and flavor together. So,
I agreed. I agree with that.
but
I agree.
hers still hanging in there. Wow.
Hey, you need a napkin? B for the Red Death on your fingertips? Do not.
It wouldn't be a great idea to go to the bathroom right now without washing.
Do not rub your eyes.
Do not rub your eyes or touch yourself.
Don't go to the
All
bathroom.
right, so now here we go again. I don't know where Mailroom Tim went, but he kind of, he fell back down the stairs. 1985, Desert Hearts. I didn't even know what Desert Hearts was. Did you? Do you know what Desert Hearts is?
I don't know. You might as well have said mannequin or something.
Dead Heart?
Desert
I couldn't. I don't know what year.
stars
Who was in it? I don't know.
I don't know anything about it. I'm trying to look it up now. And of course, Desert Hearts, 1985. Helen Schaefer, Patricia Charbonneau.
Who is that?
While waiting for her divorce papers, a repressed professor of literature is unexpectedly seduced by a carefree, spirited young lesbian.
Okay.
Controversial for its time.
1985, I'm sure. It's probably why nobody heard of it.
Thanks, Mailroom Tim.
Thanks, Mailroom Tim.
Tim showed his true colors on this one.
Oh my goodness! All right,
And that is his number what?
that's his number three. Number 3 is Desert Hearts.
Out of all of those,
That's
you slide
wild.
Desert Hearts on the number 3.
Yeah,
Like RoboCop
right.
after Desert Hearts?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Desert Hearts after RoboCop. Like
That's
it,
what I meant,
it
yeah.
ranks higher. It ranks higher than
Yeah,
RoboCop.
that's what I mean.
That's bananas, Mailroom Tim. There's a reason why we keep asking you to come back, because you're special. You're special. You're special to us.
How much does MSNBC pay this guy?
I don't know. What's your number 3, Chief?
We're gonna go with Commando.
Commando. I love that.
Again, another movie Arnold was jacked in, and when he broke into the ammunition store or whatever, was probably just the coolest scene ever.
Yep. Alyssa Milano's break-in.
Mac was also in that from Predator.
Yep.
He was the bad guy that he killed in the hotel room.
Yeah.
I think the other guy was in it too. Wasn't the dude that was with the black guy cop?
The
wasn't-
Indian guy.
The guy who fought at the end of the movie. Well, the Indian guy. No.
No. The guy that fought at the end of the movie was different.
What's his name though? He was in some movies with Arnold before too. I thought he did.
Well, I
another
think
movie
you're
with
thinking
him,
of
too.
Jesse, but it's not Jesse.
No, it wasn't Jesse. You're right. You know what I'm talking about.
I do
though,
know
right?
exactly what you're talking about.
I think he did
He's
another
been in
movie
a bunch
with
of
Arnold.
stuff.
Commando was great.
I agree.
Big fan. Arnold taking on a whole army. It was just, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
In the 80s, couldn't go wrong.
So I mean, there were so many of those that I couldn't really do. I mean, like The Running Man, Commando, Total Recall. I think was in the 90s.
It was 90.
was-
90.
90. Yeah. But I mean, like all of those, like those were, as you guys know from watching my shows, like I had nothing but Arnold Schwarzenegger posters all around my room. Yeah, for sure. What about you, number 3?
Number 3. So this is within the Halloween range of movies, but it was the one that was the outcast, and a lot of people hated it first. But I thought it was a cult classic. Halloween 3. The only one that didn't have Michael Myers. I watched that every single year, every single time it's on. John Carpenter had a lot to do with that. The score was John Carpenter. And anytime he's in a movie, I'm going to watch it. And that's high up. Number 3 is pretty damn high with all those movies.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it should be up there. I'm going to keep it at number 3, Halloween 3.
I'll have to go back and revisit
That was
Halloween
1982.
That's wild.
That is wild.
My number 3, Aliens.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Aliens.
I kind of had a
Good
feeling
choice.
we were going to all be floating in that same area for the top 4.
All right.
Good choice.
All right.
Moving right along.
Going right back to the
Let's-
Texas. This is Fuego.
Fuego.
Extreme. Hot chili pepper and lime.
It's going to be similar to.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be hot.
You don't think so?
Nah.
All right.
You throw lime in, I feel like you're backing off the heat. That's how I feel. I could be wrong.
Looking pretty hot in here.
Yeah?
It's looking hot in here.
No, they do look hot. Your knuckles are getting covered up in the stuff. That's how you know it's serious.
Look at these. I'm still feeling the heat from that last one.
Yeah, you're red up. Like,
Yeah.
it's instant red.
Yeah. This is,
These are definitely doused.
Yeah.
more than the other ones were doused.
Fuego.
Fuego.
I think Fuego might be.
I think Fuego might be
I
knocking.
might be wrong. Yeah.
It's knocking on the door.
Tap, tap.
Lime is the first thing, the very first thing.
Yep.
Agreed. I think these finish clean. They're not a bad tasting chip.
No heat.
Really
No.
salty. Really salty.
More lime, more salt, no heat.
Agreed.
That bag's out of here.
Yeah.
Get that out of here. I've made it further than I thought I would so far.
They're not a bad chip though.
But I'm not taking 3, 4 at a time, so you guys get all the credit here.
I only did
I'm
one.
just nibbling.
I only did that one.
I can't take any
lime
credit.
and salt is. I mean, maybe it would be great with a margarita.
If you want to have a stroke
Very
from high
salty,
blood
actually.
pressure,
That's
those
what I'm
are the
saying.
ones
Like
for you.
wicked salty. Not pleasantly salty. It's like a mouthful of seawater.
I feel like Takis is one of the reasons why they're poisoning the Hispanic community.
The whole
Those things are
Himalayan
super
mountain of
bombs,
salt.
dude. That's a lot of salt.
Yeah, I can feel.
My whole tongue's like-
I can feel my mouth
Not heat, it's
drying
the
out.
salt.
Yeah. All right, redemption song, Mailroom Tim. In the top 2. That's in the top 2. The Fly.
Such a weird pick for 2.
Not, that can't be number 2. I mean, on the list, yes. Number 2, no. And why?
Yeah. 1986, The Fly. We've covered it with your answer, but I don't. It's not a top. It's not a top 3. It might not even be a top 5. Whatever.
Well,
It's, I mean, it's Mailroom Tim. What are you gonna do?
That's what it is.
All right. Thanks, Mailroom
What
Tim.
you got for 2?
We can come back.
I mean,
Oh,
Brendel Fly
you
was
want me to do it?
vacant
Number
for a
2?
couple seconds.
Number 2, Predator.
Number 2.
Number 2 is Predator.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, I love the music. I love everything about that. I love the you know.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
So good, right?
Stick around.
And just stick around. It's like it's got all of it's got it checks every box that you want.
When they advance on that gorilla camp,
Yep.
and they're sliding down
Yep.
on the leaves, and they're all moving into position, and Arnold chops the conveyor belt, lifts up the damn truck, and sends that thing in, dude. I'm like, this movie is the shit, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
You
so good.
son of a bitch.
Dude, it's so good, dude.
Yep.
You're bleeding Dutch. You would say bleeding Dutch. I ain't got time to bleed.
You got time to
Got
duck?
time to duck. Oh, it's so
yeah.
good.
He's dug in like an Alabama
Son of a
tick.
bitch is dug in like an Alabama tit. You're bleeding Dutch.
Bunch of slack jaw.
So good. So good.
Jesse the Body with that
Yes,
Vulcan room sweeper. Are you
dude.
kidding me?
Oh man, and Mac picks that thing up and just
Yeah,
levels
dude.
the-
Predator,
oh, it's so
Predator,
good.
like Predator is up there for me. I mean,
So
it's
good.
my number 2.
I agree.
Number 2 for me, it's going to be a weird one for everybody, but it's freaked me out as a kid, so it's just one of those ones I watch nowadays. Pet Cemetery.
Oh yeah, I scratched that off. That was on my right there. That was
Pat-
my number 8 at one point.
Pet Cemetery was just eerily scary.
Yeah, I don't do
For its
horror, so
time,
I don't wade into those waters at all.
Do you know the concept?
I do
behind
know the
show?
concept, sure.
So like, cat got hit, they bury it in the cemetery,
Yeah.
and then the kid gets hit by this like whatever. The mom decides to bury the kid, and the kid comes back, and he's all it's just
Yep. No.
yeah. And Herman Munster's in
not
it
bad.
as the neighbor, you know.
Is
Gets
that, I wonder if that kid
what?
is in an insane asylum by now, because he was in a lot of those scary
I
movies.
know he
and
was.
Mr.
That's got to
Gambini.
take a That's got to
Mr.
take a toll.
Gambini, what are you wearing? Mr. Gambini.
Dude, the movie was. The kid takes a scalpel.
He was the monster. He was Herman Munster.
Yeah, Herman Munster.
Yeah,
right
I know.
against the back of Herman Munster's ankle. Cuts all the way into the back of his ankle with a scalpel like that deep.
Nope.
Oh, it was
You're out of these two Utes.
these two
what?
Utes.
A what?
Was My Cousin Vinny?
What
year was
that? That was
that had to be 90s.
I don't
was
know.
late 90s.
Yeah,
Had to
yeah,
be,
yeah, it
dude.
was. There wasn't an 80s flick. No way.
Oh man,
no
it
way.
was so good. When he's freaking out on the front porch, was there anything else you could possibly?
1992, My
I was
Cousin
gonna
Vinny.
say I wouldn't even. I knew it wasn't the 80s, so I didn't even look for
Yeah.
it. What you got?
Number 2, Christine, 1983. Again, John Carpenter.
Yeah, he does it.
No,
John
I've never seen
Carpenter.
Christine.
Yeah.
Tell me a little synopsis.
She looks good from the back.
You have to, just for if you're a car fan at all, just for the car, you get to see it in pristine condition, torn up. It brings itself back to pristine condition. The acting was a little wonky, but
A nerdish boy buys a strange car with an evil mind of its own, and its nature starts to change to reflect it.
it was a 58 or 68 Plymouth Fury? 58.
A red 1958 Plymouth Fury is built and
Beautiful
is
car.
the cause of 2 accidents. One of them is fatal, still on the assembly line. 21 years later, the outcast and bullied nerd Arnold Arnie Cunningham is getting a ride with his best friend and only friend Dennis Gilder, and sees the wrecked car for sales in a garden.
The popular coming of life
Christine
movies from
is
the
the
80s,
car?
they mix
Yeah,
with
Christine
a
is
horror
the name of
film.
the car.
That's what makes it unique.
Yeah.
Really, you got to see that movie. It's
check it out.
excellent. Yeah.
I've heard about it. I've just never seen it.
Soon, Arnie becomes selfish and jealous of the supernatural Christine that kills everyone that is a threat to them.
That's one in the plans to remake, and I just hope they don't mess it up.
I'm sure you're looking
Of course
forward
they
to
will.
that one.
Come on, it's Hollywood's job nowadays to screw it up.
There's another movie out there that was in the 70s that's quite similar. Does anybody in the comments section can recall that movie? The Car. Josh Brolin's dad, I forget what his name
What's Brolin's dad's name?
Josh Brolin is, it's the other Brolin. Mr. Brolin.
Charles? I don't know. But yeah, The Car was
No,
similar.
but he's not Brolin. He's not. Is he a Brolin? too?
Yeah. And I think
They
they're
do the weird last
they're
name
very
switching.
similar. I think they're both J names. Josh Brolin and Joel.
I like Brolin. He's a good actor.
Yeah, for sure. You know who else I think is James Brolin and
James,
Josh Brolin.
yeah.
Highly underrated. Tom Hardy. I think he is just absolutely phenomenal.
Rock star, dude.
Absolutely
Yeah, he's
phenomenal.
total star.
All right, this is another Takis Nitro.
Takis.
Nitro.
Takis.
Tookus.
This is another Tookus. Habanero in lime, not to be confused with hot chili in lime. This is now habanero in lime. So similar, but different.
I wonder if our tongue at some point is going to start getting a little burned, and we start to lose a little bit of
This is
real dark.
real dark.
Really?
Hateful. The Hateful Eight. Look at
Ooh.
that.
Wow,
Man.
they're getting worse.
That's a dark one.
Yeah.
That looks mean.
We might have a new.
Oh yeah.
We might have a new winner. Put that one up there.
Reigning champion. Let's see.
So, they were going for any flavor at all, or just, hey, let's just go straight up. eat?
Habanero
Well, I think that's
and
what the-
lime. That's what we're going for this one.
Habanero and lime.
Oh boy.
Boop boop boop. Just a tip.
Lime
Nope,
right away.
I don't like it.
Right away,
That is a
lime.
gross flavor. That is a gross flavor.
All lime.
All lime, but like
No salt.
like lime that has been pooped out and been eaten. This is terrible. That is terrible. Don't even look at this bag. Oh.
I didn't get any heat on it.
No heat.
No heat, and it tastes gross.
How are you allowed to do that?
I don't know, but I gotta.
How can you possibly
This
say
is so disgusting.
extreme or like whatever they're saying for the heat scale? There's really no heat in that.
That is disgusting.
How can you, why you would go into a store and single that out amongst hundreds of other choices?
The beer almost
Did you just shoot? Did you take a shot at me just now?
No.
I felt like you just took a shot at me. I
No,
felt like you took
as
a
a customer.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay. About to throw hands.
Should we do some honorable mentions before we get to number one?
Yeah, let's do the honorable mentions first. I like this. There's a reason why we brought you here today. Yeah.
Thanks, pal.
All right. We didn't bother to ask Mailroom Tim for any of his honorable mentions because he'd be sounding something stupid like Desert Hearts.
Thelma and Louise.
For me, my first honorable mention, again, a lot of the movies that I really love to watch over and over again is really, a lot of it is not only based on just the story, but the music, the soundtrack, the score in particular.
Scores
I love
used to be
scores.
They used to be very big in movies.
My number one pick is based 100% on the score, and the director made it that way. He's like, I want the music to tell the story. All right. So my first honorable mention is Glory, 1989. Glory, Denzel Washington, Matthew Broderick, Carrie Ools, what's his name? Andre Brower.
And that was rated R.
It was rated R. Oh yeah, dude. The opening scene, the guy goes. He's the infantry officer is like, "Come on, man, let's go!" And then his head gets exploded by a cannonball. Opening scene. Yeah, it's rated R. It was awesome, the music was so like when they attack Fort Sumter at the end. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about the assault on Fort Sumter. Music was everything. Acting was phenomenal. Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington. Oh my God, it's such a great movie. I mean,
Glory in 25 years.
But it's so heavy that it's not one of those things that you want to watch all the time, which is why it's an honorable mention and not like because it's so heavy. But I own the soundtrack and I would listen to the music over and over and over again because it's just so it penetrates you.
Something to blare in the warehouse while you're.
Yeah.
Honorable mention for me, we're gonna go with See No Evil, Hear No Evil.
Oh yeah.
Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor.
Oh yeah.
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 I love that.
The toy.
Flailing array. He's steering it back and forth. 2 o'clock.
Those two had such a beautiful energy
Yep.
with one another.
Yep.
I was a huge fan of Richard Pryor when I was a kid.
me too.
And Gene I loved because of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I mean, that was kind of where I got my first vibe from him.
Wasn't he
being really
the
young.
toy?
Yeah. But dude, they were just so great together, and the concept of the movie was just, you don't get ideas like that anymore. You know?
Yeah.
It was great. Like, one can't see, one can't hear. It's like, sure, let's become friends and make something happen. It was like a Dumb and Dumber-ish kind of vibe before that Tommy Boy era and that like duo.
I don't know what her
Comedy
name was,
stuff.
but the lady in that with the blue eyes and those legs, but that was a great female lead.
Yep.
Madeline Kahn did a lot of Gene Wilder movies, and she was a bombshell.
Yeah, back in the day, absolutely.
Yeah, Gene Wilder was a legend. So was Richard Pryor, man.
Yeah, they both were.
Brewster's Million.
Yeah.
Come on.
Richard Pryor, when he did
John Candy was in that one, wasn't
In Brewster's Million? I can't remember.
he? Yeah, John Candy. I think
Bumsher?
it
I'm surprised
He was the liaison. I
Candy
guess.
didn't make a list at all.
Who?
Candy didn't make anybody's list at all.
Candy.
No,
John
Wagons
Candy.
East
Oh,
is
John
not on
Candy.
my.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
Planes, Trains, Automobiles.
That was a good. Was that R?
I don't
that
think he
was-
was in anything R. That's why.
That was R.
Was it really?
I'm pretty sure it was. I'm almost sure because I looked it up. I'm pretty sure I didn't put it on my list.
because of the hands between two pillow scene.
I believe so. But you were telling an interesting fact to me when
I
we
think
were
it was
actually
PG.
talking.
No, it's R.
It
19,
is R.
1987.
Yeah.
Not
What
rated
gives
R.
that an R rating?
Let's go down to what mommy and daddy think. Let's see here. Mild nudity. So there's nudity in it. Violence and gore, none. Profanity, moderate. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking, mild. Frightening, intense scenes, none. So
must have been
apparently there must have been a nip slip.
Where was the mild nudity? I'm going through.
I don't know. It's been an age since I watched
You mentioned something when we were talking before we started the show about Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
Temple of Doom. Share that actually,
So-
because I think that's a pretty cool movie.
Yeah,
fact.
so basically, because I thought that I had it backwards where PG-13 came before R, which it did not. So basically, we have PG and then rated R all the way up until Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom was the very first movie that the Rating Association was like, wait a second, we can't be having 6-year-olds watching the heart getting pulled out of a dude's chest. Mum shabai, mum shabai, mum shabai, mum shabai. Kali, yeah. Kalima. So Kalima Upshide. So that was the first movie in the history of movies that became PG-13 was Temple of Doom.
Interesting.
How about
I did not
that?
know that.
I think that's still kind of like PG-13 ripping a heart out. I still feel like that's still a little pushy.
Yeah.
For what PG-13 actually is.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting fact. Appreciate you sharing.
No problem. I appreciate you remembering.
Temple of Doom is one of my favorites.
Oh, hands down. It was going to be on this list.
Yeah.
Because, I will watch any Indiana Jones movie up to number 3 over and over and over again.
Shia LaBeouf admitted that he just botched the shit out of it.
Oh man, that's so bad. Reconstituted aliens, monkeys that can swing faster than groundhogs that can survive a nuclear blast. Kill me.
Now, on a side note, Indiana Jones, the video game that came out a couple months ago, I'm not sure if you had a chance to check that out.
I have. That
Dude,
looks.
it's pretty badass.
Yeah.
The first 15, 20 minutes of the game is the actual movie.
Yeah.
Like, and you're running through the ball and swapping the bags with the sand and stuff, and like you're watching it, but you feel like you're playing it, but you feel like you're watching the movie.
Adios, Felipe.
It's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah.
Check it out. Check it out if you guys haven't seen it.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
Honorable mention?
The Hitcher, 1986. C. Thomas Howell. Rutger Hauer.
Ooh, Rucker was classic.
Yeah, he was a badass.
He was a badass.
1986. A young man who escapes the clutches of a murderous hitchhiker is subsequently stalked by the Hitcher and framed for his crimes. Dun, dun, dun.
Can you brew me before we get to the
Yeah,
next
of course.
bag? Because I don't want to be empty going into these last 5 heaters.
You're not wrong. All right, so I think, in all honesty, I think we should do the next Doritos. Are you want another one? You ready?
I'm good for now.
All right. So there's 2 Doritos over there, and there's 3 Hot One Pringles.
Yep.
I've had the 3 Hot Wing Pringles, so I know where they are, and they do have. I think they were going to dethrone these guys because they have heat and they have great flavor. They actually taste really good. Pringles, not really known for their flavorfulness, in my opinion.
The salt and vinegar and the sour cream is pretty good.
That's
yeah,
the
but,
two
yeah, but they
that
but they
people-
don't have a lot of flavor. It's there. It tastes like
The
salt and
originals
vinegar.
are the salt, like you kind of just taste the salt.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but Pringles are cool because of the tube and they're iconic and the way that you can.
These hot ones, they bring it. They bring
Okay.
flavor and they bring heat. So
Really?
I'm going to go with this first Dorito first. Doritos, Flamas.
Now, I feel like this is serious because they blend English with Spanish.
Right?
On this bag.
Yeah. Hey, un sabor, something, 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 something.
Let me see that. Hay un sabor detrás de cada sonrisa.
Yeah, what does that mean? I like it cheaps. I like cheaps.
There's a flavor behind every smile, is what it says.
Oh, this is not going to be hot at all then. This is not going to be hot at all. We messed this one up. This one should have been down here in the beginning.
We don't
If
like-
only I spoke Spanish. It looks angry though.
Yeah, they look angry.
It looks angry.
Oh yeah, these look red.
Might surprise you.
Take a couple of these for the old napkin here.
Flamas.
Flamas. All right, flavor and heat. Let's go.
Cheers, little people.
Is that a lime?
That's lime.
Lime
Again?
Yep.
It's what they do to tame down the heat.
That's lime. No heat.
No heat.
No heat.
I'm on chip 2, 0 heat.
Yeah. So if you like lime without having a mouthful of salt, this is the way to go.
Yeah.
But can't compete with these two.
Yeah.
So go on.
Yeah. No heat. Lime. Lime chips. Lime flavored tortilla chips.
It's a really red one. Maybe this will be a little heater.
Maybe. Nothing. Yeah, nothing. Wow.
So far, we're getting off pretty easy, guys.
Yeah.
We got 4 bags left.
My next honorable mention, Lethal Weapon.
I like it.
Which one was Jet Li in?
I think that was 4.
4.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So there were 3 before that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was the original one, which we all know, where he's crazy.
How many were in the 80s? 2 or 3.
I think 2. All right, so yeah.
2 were in the 80s, I think.
All right, so Lethal Weapon, Lethal Weapon was 87. Lethal Weapon 2 was 89. Lethal Weapon 3 was 92.
So good.
And Lethal Weapon 4 was 98.
3 was so good.
Oh yeah, dude. But I mean, I really like I like 2 a lot. You know, diplomatic community. It's just been revoked. You can't go wrong with that. I mean, come on.
Just don't remake them.
Yeah. Well, didn't they do a TV show, right? With what's his nuts, Damon Wayne's kid.
Yeah, it didn't work out well.
What about you? What's your next honorable mention?
My next honorable mention is going to be Beverly Hills Cop. Because I ain't going to fall for no banana and no taillight.
Oh, you're not gonna fall for no banana, damn that shit?
It's so good. Plus the intro.
Yeah.
The intro of that movie. Jack in the truck, all the cigarettes flying off the back of the truck as a kid.
Balky was in that.
Yeah,
Balky was in it.
You're right. Yeah, that's another one for me. Because Eddie was a big part of my childhood, man. I found Eddie Murphy Raw. My dad had it on a VHS tape.
Yeah.
I found that at a way young age, along with Andrew Dice Clay.
I got McDonald's and you ain't got none.
That was Judge Reinhold's follow-up.
Yeah.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yep.
He knocked it out of the park.
Yep.
What about you?
Let me see here. A couple movies the first few movies from the Hellraiser series.
Okay.
Okay. I like to see you picking a lot of the hard joints.
That's where
my
he
thing
dwelled,
right
man.
there.
It was
Now,
80s
is it
horror.
new age horror or just
No.
80s horror?
No, 80s not. There's no. Like the
Like, was it
only
the cheesiness
movie
of
that
that
I've
era?
seen lately that Warfare was an excellent movie, and other than that, I can't remember the last time a good movie came out.
Really?
So I'm like 80s, 90s,
Locked in.
and some YouTube videos in the evening. That's what I'm
Okay.
all about when I get home.
Okay. So no no newer age horror movies at all have
No,
kind of hit for you?
nothing.
Nothing?
No.
House on Haunted Hill, none of those ones that are available, like nothing did it for you?
Not really.
Wow,
No.
okay.
You know, what about the 900 Saw movies that have come out?
Oh no.
None of them?
absolutely
Not even the first one?
No.
Really? Didn't like it at all?
Maybe Final Destination. A couple of those.
The first Final
What about,
Destination
what about
was kinda
Scream?
No.
Cool. Nah, Scream was
What was the other one? What's the one, something from hell?
Hellboy?
No. Something from, like, Curse You to Hell or Damn You to Hell or something. I forget.
Oh, what about Hills Have Eyes? Oh. That was kind of demonic.
Yeah.
That was a little twisted.
Did anybody see the
House
remake
Thousand
of
Corpses?
Texas?
Any Rob Zombie stuff?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Didn't they do a remix of all those?
They did a new remake. It was an early edition. It was a prequel. I watched it. It was okay for what it would be being a prequel.
What's the movie with Keanu Reeves and he takes everybody's pain away? They're redoing that one with Keanu Reeves.
Where he takes his pain away.
He takes everybody's pain away. I guess he has cancer and.
Yeah, what was that called?
It was The Green Mile, and Keanu Reeves wasn't in it.
No.
No, this was.
No, this was a Keanu movie.
Little Buddha?
It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't recall it.
No, that would be crappy lime chips.
Staring at it. It's overdose of lime is what's on the tip of your tongue there.
All right.
All right.
We're gonna go into the hot ones now, because I think we deserve it, and I'm betting.
I'm holding out.
I'm betting that this last one actually has some heat, so I'm gonna let it stay at the end.
The meter's all the way up.
The meter is buried.
Yeah.
So if they disappoint, then we're gonna write a very strongly worded letter to Doritos. Now look, they don't look.
I was going to say, that does not look like it's going to be anything.
All right. This is Hot Ones Verde Los Calientes. Verde means green, and it is green.
Probably just a green sauce, probably
You can
mild.
smell pepper, like a pepper, not like salt and pepper, but you can smell like green pepper.
I smell the green sauce-ish blend to it. I feel like this is going to be a very flavorful, good chip. Might have
not a lot of heat.
Might
on
have
this
a
one.
little kick.
I think the last one that we're gonna do, the Baraka one or whatever. All right, brothers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Smoky. Mm-hmm. Light.
Yeah, like a smoky Polano, like a smoky Polano pepper. Not a lot of heat. There's some.
Yeah, there's some.
There's some.
I love the flavor.
Yeah, like I'm saying. Like
Oh, it's catching me now.
Yeah.
It's coming nasally.
yeah. Like when I told you before about it, I was like, after you eat like the third one, you're kind of like, all right, I gotta stop. I'm
I'm
done.
on 4 right now, so let's see what happens. These are good.
Yeah,
These are good.
yeah,
But if I'm going in for another bite, it's not that bad.
yeah. But I do think it dethrones hers. I do.
hands down. Flavor on that's great.
Yeah.
They're light. I think that's our next guy.
Look at that, man. It hits you on the tongue.
As soon as you stop eating them, you start to feel it on your tongue. It's pulling your saliva up out of your tongue.
Yep.
They're really good.
I know.
I enjoy them a lot.
And like I said, you can feel it on your tongue. It's nice.
Constantine. That drives me nuts when I can't remember.
Constantine does not take the pain away. You're gonna make me.
I had to look that
Oh
up.
my God, you're making me. Based on a DC Comics.
They
all
tried
right?
to redo that as a show too, and it sucked.
I disagree.
What, you like the show,
I
Constantine?
really
The
like.
new one?
Well, I don't know if I've seen the new one, but the older one with the British actor in it.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. I only did one season. Oh man, it was fun.
It obviously sucked then.
It's because you people don't understand true awesomeness. No, he basically, the story behind Constantine is as a teenager, he killed himself, and that is the ultimate sin to God. And so he was cast into hell, but they brought him back to life. And so now he's trying to redeem himself to get into heaven. And he obviously has these, he has magical powers, and he tries to drive. He can see demons and angels and walks between the two. There's a whole world that Constantine lives in.
Did you like the Keanu
I can
Reeves
still
one?
feel this
Absolutely.
on my
Me too.
tongue.
Absolutely.
Me too. These have spice.
Yeah, it's nice. I'd tell you.
We're good.
Constantine is in my top 5 all-time movies. I love Constantine. And what's crazy to me is that it's listed as a horror, but I don't see it. Like, it's listed as, dark and horror. And I'm like, there's no horror in that. That's awesome.
It's kind of dark.
Who was Gabriel Byrne was the antagonist in that one, wasn't he?
Nope.
Love Gabriel.
No?
No, Gabriel Burns was not. He's been in a couple of things. He was in...
I love Gabriel Burns. He was in Vikings most
Yeah,
recently.
yeah.
Phenomenal job.
Oh,
in that
Peter
show.
Starmore.
Yeah.
From Fargo.
Yeah, Fargo. Yeah. I do it. The Vikings was great. It fizzled after Ragnar dies. It kind of.
Still, I wanted to see where the boys wound up taking things. I think the show was one of the best shot shows, set development, design, all that stuff, characters. I felt like it had a very strong. Everybody played a really good role that they played.
For sure.
I mean, it was a great
Yeah,
show.
it is definitely worth binging. At least the
Heck
first
yeah,
4
dude.
seasons.
Heck
Binge
yeah.
the first 4 for sure.
Is it safe to say we're bumping out the Flamin' Hots? Because that Pringle definitely got my tongue still going. I
Okay.
had 6 or 7
So wow, Pringles takes out both of them,
So you're saying this one has the taste and the heat to bump
and,
that
and
one?
has more heat than these
I
guys.
think so.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Wow.
I actually am a big fan of those. They're really good.
That cleans
Well, you
that
can
up.
take the jar home with you when we're done.
What did you guys think of Devil's Advocate? Another one with Keanu Reeves.
Oh wow! I forgot
Devil's
about
Advocate
that.
was a good. Was that? I thought that was 90s.
97.
Okay. Yeah. Devil's Advocate.
That was a good one.
There's some.
That was with De Niro too, right? Or not De Niro, Pacino.
There might have been some flapping scenes.
Pacino, right?
Yeah, Pacino. Yeah, there was some flap action happening there for sure. Let's see here. So,
We're going to the next level.
all right.
Right?
Yeah. So we get another Hot Ones special. This one I think is hotter than that one. This one is the Rojo. Am I saying that right there? R-O-J-O.
Rojo.
Rojo. Oh, Rojo.
Which is weird because I don't know what Rojo actually means. Roja, I believe, is red in Spanish.
Rojo.
Holy moly, this is hot. That's what it stands for.
There we go. Now it's weird, right? These don't have a lot of. The one side's light, the other side's a little heavier. Is that how your toss is as well?
Typically is how a Pringles goes. Pringles usually only has seasoning flavor on one side.
And the other side catches it from sitting on top of
Yeah.
itself. Okay.
All right, here
I'm
we
a
go.
little
Yeah.
I'm a little hot from the ones I was just eating. Let's
From
see
the
what happens.
Verde.
Cheers. Yeah, my tongue is still. Rojo, meaning in English, is the color red.
Oh, there you go. It's red. That Verde is green. This one is red.
All right, this one has a little bit of a kick too.
And traditionally in Spanish food, green is a little bit less hot than red, so that makes sense. We went from green to red. This one probably have a little more heat.
Dried potatoes, vegetable oil. Oh boy, that's not good.
Yeah, make me sick.
I got to be honest with you. I think that I like the flavor of the green one better.
I agree. I'm gonna say the same thing. The heat level.
The heat level feels about the same.
Same. Better taste.
And better taste of the green. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gone.
bump 'em.
All right, we're down to the last two flavors. So,
What's it gonna take? Like, some of these I didn't think I'd be able to go in for another bite.
Yeah.
Is it gonna take that? What is it? The penguin hot chip or whatever the hell you call it? What do you call that?
Oh,
the
the hot chip challenge.
Yeah.
Dude, one of those things you'll be.
We gotta
cooking.
do that.
You'll be.
you want to do it?
I'll do it.
All right.
I might have to
Yeah,
take a
this
trip
guy,
back.
this guy, right?
I never did
This
the
guy.
challenge.
Oh, I can't go over mild. Boo.
Listen, I'm not eating whole ones like you are. I'm barely getting through this, but
You're not even breaking a sweat, bro.
I could feel the heat.
Okay.
So doing one more honorable mention because we have 2 bags left,
All right.
right?
Yep. All right. So I'm just going to burn through the last of my honorable mentions, just for the sake of it.
Okay.
Running Man, National Lampoon Vacation.
Your Christmas tree
No.
over here.
This was the first one, though.
What, the Running Man?
Oh, the Christmas. No, I thought you were doing Vacation. Sorry. 1983 Vacation, and then Stand By Me, 1986,
That's on my. That was gonna be my next honorable.
and
Stand
Blade
by
Runner.
Me.
Those were my honorable mentions. Yeah.
Full Metal Jacket didn't make the list. I'm surprised nobody threw that out
Platoon
there.
was also, but
That
like,
did make the list as
again,
well.
like so, Full Metal Jacket. I can watch the first half of the movie over and over and over and over and over.
Deer
again.
Hunter was 70s, right?
Yeah. Second half of Full Metal Jacket, I can't. Like, I like basic training. The war stuff it's pretty heavy.
It is.
And then Platoon's the same way. It's such a heavy movie
It
that
is
I
heavy.
can't watch it
know.
repeatedly.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's
It's
so,
not a. It's not a. If it's on, you're kind of gonna pass it.
yeah.
You've seen it.
Yeah. They're both extremely good movies,
without
but
a
it's just like I don't know if I can sit through the whole thing.
Okay.
You?
I had Stand By Me. I believe is my one other one on there. The only other one I had that we didn't talk about was, like I said, Full Metal Jacket.
All right.
So
Between these last two, my tongue is still burning pretty good.
I agree.
All right. Yeah,
I got some
it
heat, too.
lingers.
I'm gonna have to do a chocolate milk cleanse just to make sure I get a fresh palate going into these last.
Okay. We can switch it up.
I just might want to, because I don't want to be skewed, right? Because I got a little heat on the tongue already. Like, how do we settle that? We go back to a line.
And as an honorable mention, just to cover everything, because we haven't mentioned them, the Chucky movies.
Okay.
Child's Play 1 was really
The first
good.
one was 87 or 88, I believe. Yeah.
I mean, I freaked a lot of
Yeah,
people
the
out
first
for
one was
dolls
good.
for a long time, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and revisit Halloween 3 though, because I haven't watched the older Halloweens in a very
Halloween
long time.
3 is just because it's so different, it has a story to it. It has a deeper meaning than the other one. It's just slasher films. This one here, I'm not going to give it away.
Yep, don't. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Bride of Chucky, Curse of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, Cult of Chucky, Living Chucky. Man,
Child's Play.
Yeah?
look, Child's Play didn't come up.
It's got to.
Child's?
It's CHIL, not M.
I got fat fingers.
87, I think, or 88.
88.
88.
Yep.
Child's Play 88. Child's Play 2 came out in 90. Child's Play 3 came out in 91.
Because that's what they
Dude,
did
I mean,
with
they
the
just
horror movies,
pumped
dude.
it, pumped it.
Well, the
pumped it.
same thing with like Nightmare on Elm Street. They just ripped through them things. Once they started the one, they're
He was
just
talking
like,
about Halloween 4, like
With
in
that-
1982 or something
Yeah,
like that. And I'm like,
yeah.
holy heck, how did they...
dropping 2 a year. They're running out of Jason movies. It's like Jason goes to space, Jason goes to hell.
That was 10.
Yeah, Jason Goes to
That
New
was
York.
10,
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
10, yeah.
Jason X.
Jason in Manhattan, wasn't that another one?
There's another one.
So the Warehouse, the American Werewolf movie was in the 80s. That didn't make the list, right? American Werewolf in Paris or whatever. Escape from New York was in the 80s.
Escape from New York, yeah.
Kurt Russell.
I had originally written it down, and then I was like,
That's how I felt too. What other ones think we missed that we potentially have to talk about before we get to our number ones? I mean, from comedic standpoint, Trading Places didn't get mentioned.
Trading Places, yeah.
You know,
That's R?
yeah.
Jamie Lee
Yeah,
Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis's boobs.
I was going to say, did she show boobs?
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
I'm just surprised that there's not, I mean, from a comedy perspective, right, there really wasn't many that came out in the 80s that stuck around like that. I swore Animal House was 80s, it wasn't.
Yeah, that was.
I thought it's early 90s.
Animal House?
Animal House? It's
With
not-
James Belushi or Jim Belushi that died in like 1978?
Or was it 70s?
It had to have been because he's dead.
I guess so, it does make sense. It wasn't 90s, it was 70s, you're right. Had to be.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see it on my list when I was looking.
Reddit. Let's go to Reddit. Reddit knows everything.
Gotta watch Reddit, man.
Um,
That thread stinks, I looked at that earlier.
yeah, it's terrible.
It's a terrible thread.
All right, yeah.
That's why you gotta watch
They
it.
all can't be winners. Be careful what you shoot at, Ryan. There are some things in here that don't react well to bullets. I don't react well to bullets. That's the same one. All right. Anyway. Okay. Let's see. Also search for Porkies, Hard Bodies, Wild Orchard, Screwballs. I don't think Revenge of the Nerds. That was 80s.
Yeah.
That wasn't R. Revenge of the Nerds.
Dude, there were more boobies in that. We got Bush. We've got Bush.
all right.
Yeah, it's R-rated.
Yeah, I guess it was.
And, all you pervs are going to jail now. All of you. Yeah, that's not R. Fat.
I was a sore kid back in the 80s.
It's not R. All right. Here we go. We're busting this out, and then we're going to go to the number ones. Ba-da-ba-da.
What's the flavor?
It is barbacoa. What does that mean?
I think it just means barbecue.
Okay, you wait. You wait till
I
you
don't think
wait
it's
till,
gonna-
wait till you die on this chip.
I don't know if these are gonna do it for
Dude,
me,
I'm telling you, man.
These are light, man.
All right.
They look weird.
Barbacoa.
These look light.
Okay, hero.
Exactly the same ingredients that were on the last one.
Of course they are.
Yeah, let's just remarket something in 3 different packages.
I kind of enjoy the taste
I was
of
gonna
it.
say that one tastes the best to me. A little bit sweeter.
No heat.
It's there. It's on the tongue, but I mean, it could have been heat from the last one.
Exact same heat.
Yeah.
That's got more heat, I think.
Yeah.
To me, because of the flavor, bam.
I agree. I like the flavor a lot better. Smoky peppers.
I like the flavor of these better. From one to the other, I feel like that flavor hit better.
Put it right next to it.
This has more heat. This has more heat. For me, that has better flavor. But yeah, the green ones have a lot. They punch.
1A and 1B.
They punch.
All right.
The green ones definitely punch. Holy balls.
The green one's hit. This is a really smoky, nice smoky.
Yeah.
That's what I was waiting for. Finally.
Damn it.
Finally something that kind of takes you out of character. Here comes the chalky milk. Hey, that used to be, I wouldn't even eat that now. What the hell does that look like?
It's definitely not ice cream anymore. Oof. You have to drink that.
Called it. If it wasn't for that guy, it took up an hour worth of your time. Yeah, the green one.
I like the green.
Good.
They're my favorite heater so far.
Take it home with you.
It caught your voice a little bit there.
They're good.
Well, you have enough of a voice to give your number one.
Well,
Let's go with that and finish.
Mailroom Tim came back up from the basement. Mailroom Tim's number one favorite Christmas movie, 1988, Die Hard.
All right, not number one, but yeah, deserves to be on the list.
For sure.
Good job, Tim.
What year was it?
1988.
Die Hard 2 didn't come out till 91.
All right, Tim can go back to
Favorite Die
vandalizing
Hard.
Teslas.
Favorite Die
What's-
Hard movie. One.
One. Yeah.
I love 3. Samuel L. Jackson and him, I just thought had amazing chemistry.
You don't like me because of the color of my skin. No, I don't like you because you're gonna get me killed.
Yeah, but to me, it's not
When they
Christmas
made him
until
stand on the
Hans
street
falls
corner-
from the tower. I mean,
True. When they made him wear that street sign in Harlem, though, was crazy. That's how the movie started.
Simon Says. All right. What's your number one there, Chief?
Predator.
Predator.
Hands down. I watch it anytime it's on. I'll never pass. I'll never skip through it. I'll just watch it where it's at and go.
How's it going to be an advertisement?
It's too good.
Yeah.
how much money has that made?
Hey, it
by
was my
now?
number 2 movie. It was my number 2 movie.
Good choice.
Yeah.
My number one was because of the power of the cast and that Stripes. Just think of everybody in that movie.
My number 10 is your number 1,
Yes,
Stripes.
Stripes,
Your number.
because of the cast.
Yeah. And it's fantastic.
Yep.
And the the fapping that goes on.
Yeah, lots of that.
Lots of fapping.
I was chafed when I was.
I was gonna say, yeah. The lieutenant from Night Court is
This thing's got me hooked.
dude, I'm still trying to get it off my
I
tongue.
love these
I'm still
things.
trying to get it off my tongue, man.
Love them.
My number 1 is Conan the Barbarian.
Number one?
Number 1
Nice,
is Conan
dude. I
the
love
Barbarian. The music, the director, it was Arnold Schwarzenegger's breakout film, and his control of the English language wasn't really there, and so
Still isn't.
It was the director was like, I really want the music to convey,
To drown out everything he's
well,
saying.
just to carry the story, which it does beautifully. And I mean, it's Arnold. It's Arnold, and it's Arnold, Mr. Universe in his
So
prime.
big.
Yeah. So yeah, and I mean, again, my love affair with fantasy and all that stuff, and for sure,
Looking back at the list now, doing them,
yeah.
it's kind of funny because if you go from the 80s to the 90s and you were to create this list, the way film changed during that 10-year span, a decade change, is unreal.
Yeah.
When you go into the 90s, you got movies like Waterworld and like these pictures that just special effects and
True
CGI.
Lies.
Oh,
No
dude.
character to a lot of them.
I mean, it's a night and day difference, from going from that 80s era to that 90s era. So this was fun, man. I appreciate you guys having me down. Over. Where we at?
Over.
Over.
For
today.
you. Over for you. Up for me.
Up for you.
Over and up.
I'm taking a little bit of joy that you're.
So
You're
this is what I'm
struggling.
worried about.
You're struggling a
This is
little
why
bit.
this is why we're friends. All right. So this is
Extra.
this is Doritos Dynamita, extra flaming hot flavored. The little meter is buried on the dynameter scale.
Should take the cake when it comes to heat. Let's see.
Dynamita, extra hot.
This is the final one.
This is the
right?
final one. We're done after this. We can just cut the camera and cry. If we want to. I can already tell they don't have great flavor. Super red.
It just looks like they got mad at taquitos or Takis.
Yeah, they were like,
So
they're
just
cutting into our timeshare.
Yeah, they just started making the same thing.
Yeah,
They look like they could be hot though.
they could be. They could be.
Malodextrin.
I mean,
All right, brothers.
Cheers, gentlemen.
This is it.
Nothing.
get that out of here. Taste is horrible.
Right?
Has a little bit of heat.
I don't really, I don't got anything.
It tastes corn.
Yeah, corn.
Disappointed.
Wow.
The whole line from Dorito was.
Yeah.
I would have never thought Pringles would be sitting there.
Me neither.
Little slips of cardboard with flavor.
Going back to the hot ones.
They're not even chips. They're crisps.
Here, have a couple.
I'm good. We're good. Thanks. we're good. Yep. Yeehaw. Yippee-ki-yay, maggot farmer. You know, back in the day when they used to be able to show like movies that were like R-rated movies, but they would put them on the network televisions, and they would.
I love
They
that.
would chop them all up, and then they would dub
over.
The greatest was Die Hard. Yippee-ki-yay, maggot farmers.
Is that what they said?
Yeah, and then so as a kid, that's all I would ever say. It's like yippee-ki-yay, maggot farmers.
They're still trying to cut them up. What's the movie where Robert Downey Jr. plays the black guy?
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, you should hear them try and chop that one up.
Oh man,
Tom Cruise was so funny.
I'm a lead farmer, mother trucker.
mother trucker. yeah, he was.
Oh my
and you know the funny thing is my first watch through, I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it.
You could not make that movie today. One, Robert Downey would have been canceled in a heartbeat.
Well, you know, he went on Joe Rogan and talked about that. He was like, I don't care. You know, Robert Downey is too big to fail, I guess.
Well, he failed, and then he found himself again.
Yeah. And, you know, Mel Gibson.
Same thing.
No, Mel Gibson was the one that gave him a second shot because of the same thing.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, for real.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, when he did that big acceptance speech, he called Mel Gibson out and was just like, I'm here because of him. And he didn't give up on me. And he wouldn't let me, he wouldn't let me fall. I was like, man, that's a beautiful story.
So while I'm here in front of you guys,
Yeah.
favorite Mel Gibson movie?
Man, that's a tough one. He's got so many.
Tequila Sunrise is one of
my shoot from the hip moment. It would probably be like Braveheart. That's a fantastic
Probably mine,
movie.
too.
Conspiracy Theory was great.
Patriot was banging.
Patriot was, yeah. But you see, I thought that like Patriot and Gladiator, those all kind of followed Braveheart's suit. Didn't want to get involved until a loved one was dead, and blah 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So. Patriot was fire.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Was it aim small, miss small? Something like that, I said, right?
Yeah.
Well, this was fun. And would you like to?
Oh yeah. Well, we
Take
gotta.
some of your-
So one more
pay the
thing. We
bills?
gotta pay the bills. So anyway, thanks for watching the show. Make sure that you support the show by clicking on the link below and buying some stuff from the House of Rags. Funny enough, you can get BC Line on the House of Rags, you can get BioBombs on the House of Rags, and you get Phoenix stuff on the House of Rags. So use the promo code NoDirection10. Christian, where can they find you if they want to know more about you and what you're doing? I think you have a podcast on them.
We do. We're actually on the Thorn Network as well. Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Me and Godfrey do the Funkin Homies podcast. It's usually just a bunch of antics and kind of goofing around. We bring on some guests that are in the industry, talk about some techniques and things like that we do for sales and, odor removal, things like that. But all in all, it's just a loose time. You can find us anywhere online. Pretty much search out BioBombs. Any social media, you'll find us. And that's pretty much it.
What about you, B?
I am on I'm on my own channel.
Yeah.
I've kind of narrowed everything down to just being on the channel.
And what
stepping
channel?
back from
And what channel is that, sir?
that is the auction channel. So I pick up cars from auctions, I recon them. So there's going to be plenty of detailing still on the channel. I'm just kind of venturing out and showing more things like mechanical work, mechanical issues, anything that pops up. Taking you out along as we walk through these auctions, public auctions, dealer auctions, Copart, IAA. It's interesting to see the different vehicles you can pick up as project cars and how you can maybe prosper and flip them or keep them for yourself.
All right. Then, of course, you can always check us out on Curmudgeon's Corner on my podcast, on my YouTube channel at phoenixeod.com. And again, so Christian, thank you so much for coming out and being a part of this. Absolutely loved having you here.
Appreciate having me.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Brian, as always, you're a beautiful man.
Thank you.
All right, brother.
And thank you. Something we really enjoy being down in the comment section when these podcasts run. It is so fun.
We have a
You
good
guys
time.
are awesome. Keep it up.
Oh, yeah,
Brian-
and if you want to, if there's a subject that you want us to eat, if there's a subject you want us to talk about, make sure you send us an email. No direction detail at gmail.com.
No direction at all.
No direction detail.
Might I suggest fermented fish?
Oh, you son
But
of
I don't have to be here during that episode.
If we get that email, you're coming back, friend.
And he's going to be the one that opens up each one.
Yeah.
Love
All
you
right.
guys. We'll catch you in the next episode.
Yeah, we'll see you next month.
Stay fresh, y'all. Peace.
Oh.